All right. Good afternoon or good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and welcome in to the Week 7 NFL picks. I'll be picking every game, both straight up and against the spread. All 15 of them this week. And we'll also go through the power rankings for every team as we go through each matchup, plus the announcers for every single game this week. But before we jump in to my picks, let's get a little Thursday night football injury report on the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints prior to their game later on tonight. Alright, well, I'll start off with the Denver Broncos, where we have linebacker Baron Browning questionable with a foot. Cornerback Damari Mathis questionable with an ankle. Tackle Mike McGlinchey questionable with a knee. Tackle Alex Pasluski is out with an ankle. And cornerback Pat Surtain II, this is a big one for him. He's out with a concussion. And over on the Saints side of things, quarterback Derek Carr, of course, doubtful with an oblique. So that means we will be seeing Spencer Rattler under center once again. Tight end Taysom Hill is doubtful with a rib. So chances are he's not going to play. Wide receiver Chris Olave is out with a concussion. Guard Lucas Patrick is questionable with a chest. Guard Cesar Ruiz is out with a knee. Defensive tackle Kalen Saunders is questionable with a back. Wide receiver Rashid Shaheed is out with a knee. In fact, from what I heard, he's out for the rest of 2024. So that's a big blow to the passing game. And linebacker Pete Werner is out tonight with a hamstring. So now that we've gone through the injury report, let's get to this week's picks. Alright. Week number 6 was a big bounce back for me. After that terrible week 5 where I went 5-9. It was my worst week of picks in the 30 years since I've been picking NFL games. But week 6, we turned it around, and we turned it around in a big way. Posting a 13-1 straight up record and a 10-4 spread record. So overall, my straight up record is now 57-35. I'm back to about 62% winners. And my spread picks are 49. My spread picks are now 49, 42, and 1. And I have a calendar, or not a calendar, but a calculator up here. Alright, so let's see here. 49, 42, and 1. I'm back to about 54% on my spread picks, which is much better than where I have been the last few weeks. So I will definitely take that, and I hope this week sees some big numbers once again. Alright, now we can get into my week 7 picks, starting off with Thursday night football, kicking off in less than 2 hours, as the 3-3 Denver Broncos visit the 2-4 New Orleans Saints. That's tonight at 8:15 Eastern on Prime. In fact, their pregame coverage will be starting here in about a half hour at 7 p.m. Eastern. The announcers for this game are, of course, Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and sideline reporter Kaylee Hartine. The Broncos come in at number 21 in my Week 6 power rankings. The Saints, meanwhile, just a spot above at number 20. Current point spread is Denver minus 2.5, over under is 37. And these are the spreads that I wrote down last night. So some of them may have changed as of this recording. I'm taking the Broncos to win 23-17. I have the game going over 37. And I'm taking the Broncos on the road at -2.5. And it's a revenge game for head coach Sean Payton, who returns to New Orleans for the first time as the opposing coach. All right. The third and final London game of 2024 sees the 1-5 New England Patriots facing off with the 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. Sunday morning at 9:30 on NFL Network. Your announcers are Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, that's Kurt Warner, and Stacey Dales. The Patriots are 31st in my Week 6 power rankings, while the Jaguars sit at number 29. Current point spread is Jacksonville -5.5, and the over-under is 42.5. I initially took the Patriots in this game, but I changed my mind and went with Jacksonville 21-17. I have the game going under 42.5. But I'm taking the New England Patriots plus the 5.5 points. I like the hook here. Now to Sunday afternoon. We got the Battle of Ohio Part 1 for 2024 as the 2-4 Cincinnati Bengals visit the 1-5 Cleveland Browns. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Spiro Dedes, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkawala. Alright, the Bengals, I have them lower than most everyone does in their power rankings. I have Cincinnati at number 23. I've got the Browns at number 30. Current point spread is Cincinnati -6, and the over-under was 41.5. I initially took the Bengals in a blowout, but I think it's going to be a much closer game given the history between these two teams, and especially the most recent history, as the Browns have kind of owned the Bengals. But I still have Cincinnati winning 28-23. I have the game going over 41.5, and I'm taking the Browns at home at +6. All right. Next up is the first of my two games of the week for Week 7. You've got the 4-1 Detroit Lions now trying to adjust to life without Aiden Hutchinson as they face off with the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings up at US Bank Stadium. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox. The announcers for this game are Adam Amin, Greg Olson, and Pam Oliver. And both are in my top 5 in the Week 6 power rankings. Detroit sits number 3, Minnesota just ahead of them at number 2. Current point spread is Minnesota -1, and the over-under is at 50.5. I originally took Detroit in this game, but I changed it to Minnesota. I got the Vikings winning in a shootout, 31-27. I think the Lions can move the ball on this Vikings defense. The game will finish over 50.5 points, and I'm taking Minnesota with that small -1 point spread. Up next, the 5-1 Houston Texans, leaders of the AFC South, traveled to Lambeau Field to face the 4-2 Green Bay Packers. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS. Your announcers are Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson. And this is going to be a top 10 matchup according to my power rankings as well, as Houston is number 5 and Green Bay is number 10. Current point spread is Green Bay -2.5. Over-under is 47.5. I think the Texans are a little bit more banged up than the Packers are, and that will play into this game. Houston's going to keep it close, but I think Green Bay wins 27-24. I have the game finishing over 47.5, and I'm taking the Packers at -2.5. Up next, you've got the 2-3 Miami Dolphins, more than likely getting Tua Tagovailoa back. They're headed to Indianapolis to face the 3-3 Colts. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox. Your announcers are Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnston, and Laura Oakman. The Dolphins are at number 25 in my Week 6 power rankings, while Indy is number 26. Current point spread is Indianapolis -3, and the over-under is set at 43.5. With Tua back in the fold, I think the Dolphins will be able to throw on this very bad Colts secondary. Miami wins 27-17. The game goes over 43.5, just barely though. And I'm taking the Dolphins plus the 3 points. Next up, an NFC Eastern Division battle as the 3-2 Philadelphia Eagles visit the 2-4 New York Giants. And this is going to be the return to MetLife Stadium for current Eagles running back and former Giant Saquon Barkley. Sunday at 1 p.m. on Fox, and you know I will be watching this game. Announcers are Chris Myers, Mark Sanchez, and Christina Pink. Alright, the Eagles slipped to number 12 in my Week 6 power rankings because their offense underwhelmed against the Browns. The Giants, meanwhile, fell to number 27. Their defense played pretty well against the Bengals on Sunday night, but they came up on the short end of the stick. Current point spread is Philly -3, over-under is 43. I have the Eagles winning 27-20, but they've got to show me a little something on offense. The game will go over 43 points, and I'm taking Philly -3. Next up, you've got the Seattle Seahawks, kind of in free fall mode right now. They're sitting 3-3 as they face the 4-2 Atlanta Falcons. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox, the Falcons come in tied for first place in the NFC South with Tampa Bay. Seattle comes in tied for first place with the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC West. Your announcers are Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Megan O'Leary. The Seahawks are at number 16 in my Week 6 power rankings. The Falcons are at number 7. Current point spread is Atlanta -3, and the over-under is 51. The Seahawks, I think, will be able to move the ball against this rough Falcons defense. But I still think Kirk Cousins and company will do just enough to get the job done. Atlanta wins 28-26. The game goes over 51. But I'm taking Seattle with the 3 points. And then the last of the early afternoon games on Sunday is the 1-4 Tennessee Titans at the 4-2 Buffalo Bills. Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, your announcers are Andrew Catalon, Tiki Barber, Jason McCourty, and AJ Ross. The Titans are at number 28 in my Week 6 power rankings. They are unchanged from last week. Same with the Buffalo Bills, who are at number 9. Current point spread is Buffalo -9. Over-under is 41. This is going to be a one-sided affair, but I think the Tennessee Titans defense is due for a letdown. Hence, the Bills winning 31-17. The game finishing over 41. And I have the Bills at -9 on the home turf. Okay. That was a candidate for lock of the week, but our next game as we transition to the late afternoon schedule is my lock of the week. The 1-5 Carolina Panthers at the 4-2 Washington Commanders. Sunday at 4:05 on CBS. Your announcers are Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn. Alright, the Panthers back in their familiar spot in the power rankings at number 32. Washington slipped a couple spots to number 8 following their 7-point loss to the Ravens last week. Current point spread is Washington -8. Over-under is 52. I have the Commanders winning 34-24, even though I think Andy Dalton will be able to move the ball on the Commanders' defense. In fact, both teams have no defenses. Again, Washington wins 34-24. This may be a high-scoring game. I have it finishing over 52, and I'm taking the Commanders -8. Our next game also was a contender for lock of the week. That's the 2-4 Las Vegas Raiders at the 1-4 Los Angeles Rams. Sunday at 4:05 on CBS. Your announcers are Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins. The Raiders come in at number 24 in my Week 6 power rankings. The Rams at number 19. The Rams are starting to get healthy. It looks like Cooper Kupp will be back for this game. And I think the Rams will be able to move the ball on the Raiders. Effectively, I may add. LA wins 27-13. I have the game finishing just under 43.5. And I'm taking the Rams -7. Now, the top game of the week is a rematch of Super Bowl 58. As the 5-0 and undefeated two-time reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs take a trip out to the Bay to face the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers. Sunday at 4:25 on Fox, and this game will be nationally televised. Your announcers are Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. The Chiefs are still number 1 in my Week 6 power rankings. The 49ers are at number 11. Current point spread as of Wednesday is San Francisco -1. Over under is 46.5. I had initially took the 49ers, but as I went to bed, I was like, what am I thinking? They're playing Andy Reid after the bye week, and he never loses. So I quickly changed my pick to the Chiefs. Kansas City wins 31-28. The game goes over 46.5, and I mean well over. And I got the Chiefs at +1 as the road underdog. Next up is Sunday Night Football. The 2-4 New York Jets at the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. Sunday at 8:20 on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Your announcers are Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark. The Jets fell to 17 in my Week 6 power rankings after Monday night's loss to the Bills. The Steelers are at number 6 after they hammered the Raiders in Week 6. Almost said Week 5. Sorry about that. Okay, current point spread is New York -2. Over under is 38. The Jets, of course, fired head coach Robert Saleh last week, and they acquired wide receiver Davante Adams in a trade, and it looks like he's going to play Sunday night. And that's going to be a tough matchup for those Steelers cornerbacks. That being said, I got the Jets and old man Aaron winning 27-20. I have the game going over 38. And I'm taking New York at -2. And then we'll wrap up Week 7 with 2 Monday night games once again. The first game will be the 4-2 Baltimore Ravens at the 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Monday at 8:15 on both ESPN and ABC. Your announcers are Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Lisa Salters. The Ravens come in at number 4 in my Week 6 power rankings, while the Bucks are at number 13. Current point spread is Baltimore -3.5. Over under is 49.5. And I had considered taking the Buccaneers in this game, but then I thought, this is Lamar Jackson facing another NFC team. He rarely loses against the NFC. In fact, Lamar Jackson has a 21-1 career record against non-conference opponents, and I think this is going to be number 22, but it will be tough. Baltimore wins 31-28. The game goes over 49.5. But I am taking Tampa Bay with the 3.5 points. And then the last Monday night game is the 3-2 Los Angeles Chargers at the 2-4 Arizona Cardinals. And that's Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's streaming exclusively on ESPN Plus. That is, unless you live in Los Angeles and Phoenix. We know the game will be seen locally here on KSAZ Fox 10, but they have not announced a local station in Los Angeles to carry the game in that market. Your announcers are Chris Fowler, Louis Riddick, Dan Orlovsky, and Laura Rutledge. The Chargers are in the top half of my Week 6 power rankings, coming in at number 15, and the Arizona Cardinals are at number 22 after they got jumped by the Green Bay Packers. Current point spread is the Chargers minus 2.5, and the over-under is 43.5. Given the fact that the Cardinals' offense has not been playing well the last couple of weeks, the Chargers' defense will pretty much make quick work of Kyler Murray and company. But it's going to be a close game either way. Chargers win 23-16. I have the game going under 43.5, and I'm taking LA at minus 2.5. All right, only 2 teams in the bye week here in week number 6. You've got the 4-2 Chicago Bears, ranked number 14, and the 3-3 Dallas Cowboys, ranked number 18. Of course, the Bears won in London last Sunday against the Jaguars, while the Cowboys got absolutely curb stomped by the Detroit Lions on Jerry Jones's birthday, no less. Yeah, that was pretty brutal if you're a Cowboys fan. Anyway, that's a look at my Week 7 NFL picks, both straight up and against the spread, plus the Thursday Night Football injury report for both the Broncos and Saints. And then we will take a look at the rest of the injury report on Sunday morning during the Patriots-Jaguars game. I will be on at about noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, which is about 30 minutes after the league's actives and inactives are announced. So join me Sunday at noon Eastern for the rest of the Week 7 injury report. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out. Mm-hmm.